One should start with worship. The enlightenment of the soul is in prostration. The mind cannot see the truth without lifting the veil of thoughts. Love includes a love for knowledge. The most valuable knowledge is combined with action. Question not the origin of addiction, but the source of its illness. There is no peace among those who constantly find fault with their health. Human health is more noble than the sum of all the sciences invented by scientists. To be able to change the world is only possible when the hearts of people and the consciences of societies change. Doing good is easier than discovering and finding God. Spouses are not a whole as much as they complement each other's differences. The best way to change people is to set an example for them. The beginning of internal illnesses occurs when people lose the meaning of life and weaken their social ties. The most perfect person from our mental, physical, and social health is the heart that distributes justice to everyone without expecting anything in return. Turning to God fills the heart with emptiness. The right person brings happiness, while the wrong person brings experience. If the difficulties we experience do not make us a better and stronger person, all our efforts are in vain. When the love of faith enters the heart, an internal satisfaction and spiritual expansion are felt. This is the first sign of a healthy soul and body. Man seeks a physician for knowledge, not for appearance. The intuitions of the heart cannot be understood by reason. People, as they try to escape from the grip of fear and horror, deepen the effect of these emotions even more. However, when they learn to confront these emotions with patience and trust, they can achieve true peace. To love actively overcomes problems of attention and harmony. The wise remain silent while fools forget. The wisest person is the one who knows his own self best. As the fear of Allah deepens, the meanings of the Quran also become more apparent. Justice and conscience begin first in a person's inner world. Whoever does not know himself, how can he know his Lord? When reason and knowledge come together, lofty ideas are born. As long as tricks exist in the world, there will also be difficulties. When speaking, do not mix your words with jokes and humorous remarks. There is no greater wealth than health. Continuously turn inward, refresh, and renew yourself there. Health is a friend-like, and illness is an enemy-like. There is nothing as sweet as the love for children, nor as bitter as hunger. There is no more effective and influential remedy than touching your fingers to your mouth and nose, than love and affection. An ignorant physician is the assistant of death. True knowledge must be based on two principles: reason and intuition. No one is as blind as those who do not want to see. What I have learned in prostration. Do not ask the physician, ask the afflicted. Knowledge and art abandon the country where they are not appreciated. The world is not a place of entertainment and games. A person who knows what he is does not affected by what some ignorant people say about him. Anxiety and worry do not make you friends with anyone. In kindness, do not differentiate between friend and foe. It is like a fruitless tree. Show respect to your friends and companions. Do not trust anyone who has been an enemy to you in the past. Do not forget that a person's value is measured by the value of the things he is interested in. A coward always wants to be right. Small-minded people talk big. Advice is the greatest treasure of the wise person. Choose your friend wisely, for your friend either elevates you or lowers you. Self-confidence is the key to success. Those who seek truth must be prepared to face loneliness. Difficulties are opportunities for strong spirits to grow. Patience is the key to the greatest victory. Forgiving others is the way to free yourself. True power is being in control of oneself. A person is as good as they think. Getting stuck in the past is the surest way to miss the future. Life is not just about winning. Sometimes it's about learning too. Do not expect others to believe in you if you do not believe in yourself. To be successful, you must first have confidence in yourself. There's nothing you cannot achieve if you believe you can. Success is not giving up when faced with obstacles. Small mistakes teach big lessons. Focus on your potential, not on others' success. Everything has its time. You must be patient. Failure is the harbinger of a new beginning. The biggest obstacle in life is our own fears. Everyone has a story. Do not judge anyone by their story. Learning from the mistakes of others is the wisest way. In life, you only need to believe in yourself. You do not need others to believe in you. It is important to move forward, even with small steps. What matters is taking action. A person grows the most when they are alone with their own thoughts. Accepting the boundaries of others is realizing your own freedom. Everyone has their own story. No one knows the story of another. Great people strive to achieve their dreams. Small people find excuses to postpone their dreams. Success is possible with patience and perseverance. Choosing the easy path means accepting failure. Strive to surpass your own potential, not others. Get inspired by others' stories, but write your own story. Discover the power within you, because you are the only one who sets your limits. You are shaped not by what people say to you, but by what you believe. Instead of being jealous of others' success, learn from them. Success is possible through continuous self-improvement. Drawing your own path is braver than following others' footsteps. What others think is not important. What you are is important. Drawing your own path is the bravest step. Discovering your own potential is the greatest journey. A doctor is a philosopher because there is no great difference between wisdom and medicine. Therefore, while other fields try to learn something from philosophy, it should not be said that there is nothing for philosophy to learn from them. My friends, nourishing the body and soul is wisdom. Otherwise, you will nourish snakes and demons in your heart. A long prayer made for show is a key that opens the gates of hell. If a ruler unjustly takes an egg from a peasant, his men will take all the peasant's chickens. When asked what is sweetest, I say it is meeting. Are you aware that while searching for things that do not belong to you, you also lose things that belong to you? Many patients with serious illnesses whom I treat are individuals who, at significant points in their lives, have not valued themselves and failed to learn to say no. While animals can be dangerous when struggling with hunger and survival, humans pose a greater danger when they are filled with blessings and strength. Therefore, most crimes stem not from deprivation, but from abundance and heedlessness. I do not tell you not to set sail into the sea, but if you do, be prepared even for the storm. A house without sunlight welcomes a doctor. There is no treasure like contentment, no nobility like discipline, and no honor like knowledge. What the soul sees is different from what the eyes see. The worst ignorance is not knowing oneself. Every strength in the world begins with sound ethics and sound mind. Do not take anything else until you have digested what you have eaten. Do not expose your wealth to friends or enemies. The truth is that it is not the age of the patient, but the age of the disease that matters. If you walk after eating, it indicates that you are healthy both mentally and physically. One who is not ill does not know the value of health. Joy facilitates digestion. Do not use medicine unless absolutely necessary. I fear the ox because it has weapons but no intelligence. The house of stomach disease is the beginning of the treatment of diet. Find an occupation for yourself, because those who cannot keep themselves occupied will be occupied by others. Doubt is a pain that cannot be a twin to faith. When the brain is healthy and calm, a person thinks much more logically. Disease always comes from excess or deficiency, that is, from imbalance. Despairing of a sick person brings him closer to death. In fact, most of us, simply because we are afraid of change, live our whole lives as if we are in chains, and we continue to live that way, numbing the pain of those chains with all sorts of distractions and tranquilizers, heading not only from others, but even from ourselves. Do not tell anyone about your illness, for this silent test brings you closer only to Allah's infinite mercy and power. Whenever you suffer, whenever you shed tears, know that this is a sign of your Lord's love for you. These troubles purify you, elevate your soul, and open the doors of eternal love and peace beyond this world for you. Your patience and faith are a worship unseen by eyes, and this is the most valuable gift in the eyes of Allah. No one can exploit us more than ourselves. No one can harm us more than we harm ourselves. Therefore, there are two things that especially harm the heart: grief and anxiety. People do everything they can to avoid encountering things that will heal them, no matter how absurd. People think they envy others' success, wealth, and fame. But the most envied thing is goodness, because the most solid and healthy sign of the joy people derive from existence is this. Frequent and causeless fatigue is a sign of disease. Idleness is the source of all evils. Where there is no idleness, there is no evil. The doctor treats the disease, but nature heals. Marriage is a fire from inside to outside. It starts hot and ends cold. Neither fullness, nor appetite, nor anything outside of the natural state is good. Your natural powers are those that will heal you from within. The drunkenness, foolishness, and irresponsibility of fathers and mothers cause the weakness and sickness of children. People need each other, not only because they seek companionship or support in difficult times, but also to fulfill the obligations of humanity, because kindness is healing. For the health of the soul, goodness requires depth and loyalty. Without these, there is no goodness. It only appears to have done good. Real goodness will always dedicate itself and establish lasting bonds. The more you have to live for many years, the more you want. Sleep and insomnia are harmful when they are excessive. Seeing death makes one accept illness. A lazy person is one who has much sleep, has gone away from himself, and is heir to poverty. Do not discuss how a good person should be anymore. Be a good person. Remember that a person's value is measured by the value of the things he is interested in. Anxiety and worry do not make you friends with anyone. Do not mix your words with jokes and funny remarks when speaking. Turn inward constantly. Renew and refresh yourself there. Health is like a friend. Disease is like an enemy. There is nothing sweet like child's love, nothing painful like hunger. True knowledge must be based on two principles: reason and intuition. No one is as blind as those who do not want to see. The soul of man is like a lamp. Science is its light, and divine wisdom is like the oil of the lamp. If it burns and gives light, then you are called alive. Every disease is caused by a worm. Unfortunately, we do not have a tool to see it: microscope. People only believe in the reasons you put forward, the sincerity of your feelings, and the weight of the pain you endure after you die. All diseases come from what we eat and drink. Sometimes doing nothing is the remedy. Man walks in the fires of his desires. Grant me the beauty of my soul, and ensure that everything I possess externally harmonizes with the beauty within me, so that I may believe that true wealth lies only in the wise. One must purify their soul so that the veil over their eyes may be lifted, allowing them to see the divine light. When we do not step out of our comfort zone to get to know people who are different from us, we stop learning and developing and get stuck in our ingrained patterns of thought and behavior. Never postpone a treatment. The best cure for any illness is to learn how to avoid contracting it in the first place. Many people think that they think only in those moments when they think over and over again about their prejudices. The three things people fear most are death, other people, and their own minds. Today's youth seem to lack respect for the past or hope for the future. In healing someone, ask them first if they truly want to let go of what made them sick. Excessive eating leads to illness, and all illnesses originate in the intestines. Self-love alone is the source of unhappiness, not happiness, and to do good to others is to do good to oneself. Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what illness you have. Medicine teaches us not how to live long, but how to live rightly. Action must be in harmony with correct thinking. Essentially, there are only two things in life: science itself and personal thoughts. For the one who knows how to live well, it is not only about consuming less, but more importantly, learning to be content with less. If you're feeling down, go for a walk. If you're still down, go for another walk. Art is long, life is short, opportunity fleeting, experience deceptive, and judgment difficult. The most extreme solutions are well suited for the most extreme diseases. Alleviating pain is God's work. Patients share two common expectations: to be helped, or at the very least, to not be harmed. Anything excessive is contrary to nature. If I were to define humans, I would describe them as beings who tend to forget themselves and their bodies. What human health needs are not better theories, but better practices. The mind cannot see the truth without lifting the veil of thoughts. Love encompasses a passion for knowledge. The most valuable knowledge is combined with action. Question not the origin of addiction, but the source of the disease. Among those who constantly find fault with their health, peace is never found. Human health is more sublime than the sum of all the sciences invented by scientists. Changing the world is only possible when hearts change and societies evolve. Finding God through acts of kindness is easier than searching for Him through thought and exploration. Spouses are not complete because they resemble each other, but because they complement each other's differences. The best way to change people is to set an example for them. The onset of internal illnesses occurs when people lose the meaning of life and weaken their social bonds. The deterioration of our mental, physical, and social health begins here. The most perfect human is the one who distributes justice to everyone but does not expect anything in return. The cleanliness of the heart and the health of the body are the strongest forms of resistance. Turning towards Allah fills the void in the heart. The right person brings happiness, while the wrong person brings experience. If the difficulties we face do not make us a better and stronger person, then all our efforts are in vain. When the love of faith enters the heart, a sense of inner satisfaction and spiritual expansion is felt, which is the first sign of a healthy soul and body. As people try to escape the clutches of fear and horror, these feelings deepen. However, when they learn to confront these feelings with patience and trust in Allah, they can achieve true peace. Active love overcomes attention and harmony issues. As long as the world exists, there will be difficulties. Contemplation and walking are the inner efforts a person makes to understand his own self and purpose of creation. As a result, it becomes easier to acquire knowledge about the realities in the universe created by Allah and the relationships between them. Man is more valuable than all the sciences can say about him. Doing good and realizing good deeds is a divine gift. The idea that everything has a price and everything must bring profit is very wrong. Humility and modesty make people realize their limitations. As knowledge, consciousness, morality, and compassion decrease, bigotry and selfishness increase. To be a Muslim is to constantly keep Allah in mind. Healing wounds from childhood requires great effort. Decorum is to preserve the language when speaking, to protect the heart when alone, and to guard the eyes when out. A friend is someone who knows everything about you and still loves you. If you ask something from scoundrels with gratitude, you may increase in body, but you will decrease in spirit. Life is for spending in peace and comfort. It is not for accumulating wealth and honor. Those who live without a purpose remain without fortune. Let your relationship with people be like your relationship with fire. If you stay too far, you freeze. If you get too close, you burn. Learn the truth from your enemy. Your friend approves of everything you do. Flatterers are not your friends. Your true friends are those who criticize you. The burden of each being is proportionate to its strength. The ant's leg is heavy for the locust. As you live, so you believe. You live as you believe, and you die as you live. You will be resurrected as you die. Man is superior to animals in speaking, but if he does not speak the truth, animals are superior to him. Since the end of all things is earth, be earth before you become earth. When an orphan cries, the throne trembles. Do not expose people's hidden faults. You will make them a laughingstock and yourself insecure. When one falls into despair, his tongue lengthens. A base person cannot receive the education of the good. Trying to educate an incompetent person is like putting a walnut on the dome. If you want to be exalted, do not pursue exaltation. Be careful to avoid sex in old age. At this age, it is safer to use other sources of pleasure. When I rested my head on my father's chest, it felt as if my head was adorned with a crown. When one is intoxicated with someone's love, he is no longer hurt by anything of theirs. Man is hidden under his tongue. The tongue reveals the person. The heart of man is like a chest. Comfort and peace are solitude. The true adornment of the head is wisdom and understanding, not a showy turban. Instead of foolishly wasting yourself in vain, bear what comes to you with courage. Say what is in your heart. Nothing is above the truth. No matter how much you read, if you do not behave according to your knowledge, you are ignorant.